The movie begins with a bartender working at a bar in New Orleans named Will. He is seen talking to a couple named Alicia and her boyfriend Jeffrey, as well as a group of college students looking to spend their night at the bar. They engage in a little betting, and it seems that Will and Alicia are quite familiar with each other. Then Will's friend named Eric arrives. Eric appears very drunk and is speaking rudely without regard for those around him. The bar becomes even more crowded with the arrival of 3 friends of Eric. There, Eric and his friends decide to play billiards. Unexpectedly, their conversation leads Eric into a fight, resulting in Eric being stabbed in the right cheek with a broken bottle by one of his friends. This leaves a large wound on his cheek. The college students who came earlier are seen recording the altercation between Eric and his friend. In short, the fight ends because Will tries to break them up. The college students who were partying earlier run away from the place, and one of them accidentally drops a phone in the bar. Will picks up the phone and keeps it. In short, he returns to his home. There he finds his girlfriend named Carrie, who has already fallen asleep. Curious, Will finally checks the phone he found from the college student. While checking, he receives a message from someone named Garrett. There, Garrett says he is scared and something from the tunnel is following him. The next morning, Will wakes up and has breakfast with Carrie. There, Carrie is a bit suspicious of Will for bringing someone else's phone. Will tries to convince her that it is a phone he found in the bar last night. So Will gives the phone to Carrie. Suddenly, Carrie is very shocked by what she finds on the phone. Apparently, last night, Garrett, who talked to Will, sent a photo of a pile of teeth with blood around it. Because of this, Carrie insists on taking the phone to the police. However, Will does not take it to the police right away for several reasons. Will then takes Carrie to her campus. After that, he goes to Eric's place. There he sees a black car with a woman inside who keeps staring at him for no apparent reason. There he sees Eric's wound is infected. So, Will suggests Eric be taken to the hospital and have his wound treated. However, Eric refuses. Additionally, Eric admits that he has been having nightmares since the fight. Since Eric refuses treatment, Will decides to leave and goes shopping. At the convenience store, he meets Alicia, who is with Jeffrey. There, Will feels a bit jealous and has a crush on Alicia. When Will returns home from the convenience store, he doesn't realize he is being followed by one of the college students who is at the bar. Once home, he opens the phone he found at the bar. Will was shocked when he discovered a video of a person being beheaded and their head placed among cockroaches. Suddenly, Carrie arrived home. Will put on a shocked expression. Suspicious, Carrie asked Will to hand over the phone. With no other choice, Will gave the phone to Carrie. Carrie was equally stunned by the video on the phone. Accidentally, Carrie saw a book in the video titled The Translation of Wounds. They called Garrett and heard an inhuman scream on the other end of the line. Carrie insisted Will take the phone to the police as soon as possible. On the way, Will needed to look at the phone again to gather more information. Suddenly, a message appeared stating that Will had been chosen. It then instructed Will to look behind. To his surprise, there was a car driven by one of the college students from the bar behind his car. When Will looked at the phone again, everything had turned into cockroaches. This shocked Will, causing him to swerve the car wildly. He got out of the car, frantically cleaning his hands and rolling on the ground. Many people recorded the incident. However, since they didn't see anything strange, they deemed Will crazy. This situation was then exploited by the group of college students to take the mysterious phone. Seeing this, Will chased after them. Unfortunately, Will couldn't do anything as they had already left in their car. So Will went to the police station empty-handed. There, Will tried to explain everything he knew. However, the police said it wasn't enough. To report an incident, Will needed to provide detailed information. Since the information they had wasn't sufficient, the police agreed to come to Will's bar to relax for a bit. As night fell, the police were enjoying a game of billiards. Unexpectedly, Alicia came to the bar. Alicia and Will chatted briefly about trivial matters. Then Will invited Alicia to have a drink together in a park. There they relaxed and enjoyed the night together. Unwittingly, they got carried away. Fortunately, Alicia still had her senses and pulled away from Will. Will said Alicia didn't need to worry about Carrie, but Alicia said she also deeply cared for Jeffrey and thought of him. So they canceled their plans and left the park. They went home feeling uneasy and didn't speak to each other. Upon arriving home, Will was puzzled to find Carrie's phone lying on the floor. Then he looked for Carrie and found her watching something strange on her laptop. Will asked Carrie about it. However, Carrie did not give a more logical explanation. She even denied that she had sent many photos to Will. Carrie then went straight to bed. On the other hand, Will was still very curious about what was actually happening, so he checked his house first. And suddenly there, he met Garrett. Garrett was vomiting his teeth, which were bloody and falling out one by one. Then Garrett told Will that they had actually performed a ritual that opened a portal, and something possessed them, and now you have invited it back and it stays with you every time you sleep. And suddenly he saw terrifying eyes and woke up instantly. When Will woke up, he felt something strange in his armpit, so he decided to go to the bathroom and check it himself. In the bathroom, he saw a strange spot in his armpit that made it constantly itchy. Because of this, Will immediately cleaned himself and unconsciously scratched his itchy armpit until it bled. Then, Will talked to Carrie. Carrie said that last night she tried to find information about a man named Garrett. However, she found nothing. After that, Carrie talked about strange things related to worms. Then she went to campus. Curious, Will finally opened Carrie's laptop and checked her browsing history. There, Will found a discussion forum that Carrie had apparently visited before. In the forum, there was a conversation between Garrett and a member. Garrett said that after he brought the book, The Translation of Wounds, he dreamed about a tunnel. Then one of the members said that the tunnel was a portal. Will then investigated further. He found that the forum was a Gnostic study forum, which believed that wounds are a portal for astral beings to transcend the physical abilities of ordinary humans. Long story short, night fell. Will was seen talking to Dwayne, his police friend. Then Alicia and Jeffrey arrived. There, Jeffrey seemed very furious with Will for trying to take Alicia, and it seemed that Alicia had told Jeffrey about Will's deceit. Thus, a fight ensued between Jeffrey and Will. Fortunately, the police were there, so they were quickly broken up. Jeffrey, still very upset, returned to his work and cleaned up the broken beer bottles scattered around. There, he hallucinated about a dark hole in the corner of the floor. Suddenly, he received a message from Carrie, saying that she was not alone at home. Panicked, Will quickly ran and hurriedly headed home. Then he drove very erratically. At home, Will found no one. He panicked and took a knife for safety. When he entered Carrie's study, Will saw Carrie sitting still, staring at a hole that kept moving on her laptop screen. There, Will asked Carrie if there was anyone else in the house, but Carrie did not respond at all. And then Will left Carrie alone there. In short, Will checked room by room and finally reached his own room. While sitting, suddenly his phone rang, and the call came from an unknown person. When Will answered it, he suddenly cried upon hearing a very terrifying scream from the call. After that, Will went to Carrie's study and closed her laptop, causing Carrie to collapse weakly. Caring as he was, Will immediately turned on the bathtub faucet and soaked Carrie's body. Will was shocked when he saw Carrie's entire body emitting a lot of black fluid that gradually covered the entire bathtub. In the bathtub, Carrie regained consciousness and woke up with fear. The next day, they discussed what they had been through. Will admitted that he felt his relationship with Carrie was not going smoothly, so Will decided to end their relationship that morning. Carrie judged that Will was an empty person and not friendly at all. But Will did not accept this and said that everything that had happened lately was caused by the mysterious phone. However, Carrie did not care much about Will, and finally, Will left for work in anger, leaving Carrie crying alone. At work, Will appeared very disappointed and emotional. He became more emotional and vented his frustration on unimportant things. Then, his boss advised Will. However, Will responded by yelling at his boss, so Will decided to quit his job at the bar. He then left the bar and thought of calling Alicia. There, Will expressed all his feelings to Alicia. Will also said that he had just broken up with Carrie, which meant good news for Alicia. But surprisingly, Alicia's response was not so pleasing to Will. Alicia said she still loved Jeffrey and told Will not to call her too often if he cared about her. Feeling desperate and lonely, Will decided to stay at Eric's house. However, Eric did not immediately accept him, which made Will threaten Eric. There, someone said that he was actually ordered by the mysterious college students. The students asked Eric to give Will the gift he was supposed to, which was wrapped in meat. Will realized that the meat in question was Eric's wound itself. Eric immediately gave his phone, which was in the desk drawer, to Will. Will took it and knew what he had to do, which was to call Garrett. As usual, the voice that came from the phone was a terrifying scream. Instantly, it triggered something inside Eric to come out, and Eric writhed in pain. Suddenly, a swarm of cockroaches approached them and slowly covered the room where they were. Then something opened from the wound on Eric's cheek, forming a tunnel just like the one he saw on Carrie's laptop screen. The tunnel went from Eric's wound to Will's mouth, and the movie ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.